You can do after eating, but then there should be a gap of 3 hours. For example, you finish eating at 1 p.m., then you can do asana at 4 p.m. But it will depend on what you eat and how much you eat. If you have a very heavy meal, you may have to wait for 4 or 5 hours. But if you have a light meal, then you can do asana even after 1 hour. For example, you have just some fruits. Then you can do asana after 1 hour. The second thing is, asanas cannot be done on the bed, it should be done on the floor. And even though there is a yoga mat, suppose this is not there, one yoga mat, like yours, you need two, not one. Because when you do savasana, part of your body will be on the floor. And the floor is cemented, you can catch cold. And even today, like the floor is dirty, no matter how clean it is. So you need two yoga mat like that, not one. One is not enough. The third is, in the room you are doing asanas, there should not be any smoke. Not even incense. You know incense? Smoke. You can do it in an air-conditioned room, but if the room is not air-conditioned, the window should be open so that you can get some fresh air. Because you are breathing deeply while doing asana, so you need some fresh air. Then the fourth is that right after asana, you will not touch the water for 10 minutes. You should not touch the water immediately. And you should not eat or drink anything from 20 to 30 minutes after doing the asana. Why? Because when you do asanas, your body temperature is changed. Your body becomes little heated. So, if you immediately touch the water, you can catch cold. And it takes about 20 minutes to 30 minutes for the body to come to the normal temperature. Then only you can eat or drink anything. Not immediately after doing the asana. And never eat or drink anything while doing asana. You know, now there are so many kind of asana, they will eat and drink while doing asana, like other kind of sports, you know. No, it is not proper. Then asanas should be done with a clean body. When you do other kind of sports, you take shower after. No, in asana you take shower first. Your body should be clean. Because the asana is not straight out. Asana should be done slowly and gradually, without forcing the body too much. Of course, in the beginning you have to force a little bit. But suppose you have been doing asanas already for 1-2 years, then you should be doing asana without forcing your body, without putting too much effort. Because the very definition of the asana is, it is the state of body in which it remains complete rest. So while doing the asana, the yoga exercises, you cannot force too much, you know, and your body should not become tired or exhausted. No. The asana should be done slowly, gradually, smoothly, rhythmically. So then one will get the maximum benefit from the asanas. Because asana is not like any other yoga sports or yoga exercise. It is other kind of sports and exercise. It is completely different. And the special benefit of asana is that asana is not only physical exercise, it is psychophysical. It does not only affect your body, but it also affects your mind. Because the practice of asanas helps to maintain the balance of the hormone secretion from the different glands. For example, somebody gets angry very quickly. He has no control on his temper. So when he's angry, he can slap somebody, he can abuse somebody, he can kick somebody, but after that he feels bad. He regrets. And he promises himself, next time I will not get angry. But when the situation comes again, he is angry. Why? Because there is an overflow of hormones from the glands which controls your anger emotion. So if there is an overflow of hormones from the gland which controls anger emotion, no matter how much you try, you cannot control your anger emotion. So the asana helps to balance the secretion of hormones which secretes from the different glands. So then it is easy for you to control your emotions. I was in Australia and there are many yoga centers there in Melbourne. And they used to invite me some of the yoga centers because I am a yogi from India to give lectures. So I give lecture and then because they teach mainly Hatha Yoga. So they announce if anybody is interested, they can go and learn meditation from Dada. So many people used to come from this yoga center. And at the same time, some new people also come. And you can see their faces. The people who are coming from the yoga centers, they are much more calm, much more peaceful than the people who are coming for the first time. They are more agitated. So the asana does not only affect your body, it also affects your mind. It helps you to control your emotion. So that's why there is no substitute for yoga exercise. There cannot be any other exercise which can be substituted for the yoga exercise because other exercises have only physical benefits. But the asanas have both physical and psychological benefits. So then generally asanas should be practiced by the ladies when they are in the monthly period. Monthly menstruation, those 3 or 4 days. Because that time the body is in a very delicate situation. And not only asanas, but you should not even lift anything heavy bending forward. And no heavy exercises or anything during that period. So that the body should be, asana should be practiced when the body is in a normal state. Not when you are sick, not when you have some imbalance in the body, or you have headache or all that. Then you should not practice asana. And then, why practice when you are doing asanas on your own, alone in your room? Then you should have only underpant, or what we call nambota for the men. And the women should have only bra and underpant. The rest of the body should be exposed to the air and sunlight. We never expose our body to the air and sunlight. All the time clothing. Which is not good for the body. Body should be exposed to the sunlight and to the air, fresh air, sometimes. So, that time, if it is not too cold, it's too cold, then you have to put on some clothing. But if it is not too cold, like in Dubai, when the summer comes, you don't need. So, there should be another clothing for the men only, underpant or the langota, which is a special kind of underwear, which is recommended for men. And for the ladies, only bra and the underwear. So, you have to remember these rules in order to get the maximum benefit for the asana. You should know at least 7 basic asanas. There are three basic asanas for the sisters and 4 basic asanas for the brothers. So everybody, the sisters can also practice the asanas practiced by the brothers, and the brothers can also practice the asanas practiced by the sisters, not prohibited. But the 3 asanas, which is for the sisters, has a special benefit for the sisters. For example, it helps to regulate monthly menstruation. The 4 asanas, which is for the brothers, has a special benefit for the brothers. So at least you should know the 7 asanas. Cobra is Bhujangasana, Yoga Mudra is Yoga Mudra, and Lam Salute is Birgapana. So these 3 basic asanas for the sisters. Then the 4 basic asanas are the shoulder stand, Samanasana.
For the brothers.
For the brothers, Matsya Mudra, the fish. Then the Naukasana, or the boat posture. And Utkat Paschitumasana, the posterior stretch, stretching, lying down and stretching. So these are the four basic asanas for the brothers. And each asana has a specific time that you should practice and a specific number of times. Not that asanas have to practice only once. No. For example, if you practice in Surya time, you have to practice three times. And each time holding the position for 2 minutes. Breathing is normal. And you should practice 3 times. 2 minutes is minimum, you can practice up to 5 minutes. So this time. Then the fish posture, which will be done together with the Surya time, should be practiced minimum 1 minute. Maximum can be 2.5 minutes. Just one half of the time of the Surya time. And also 3 times. Breathing normal. Then the boat posture, you have to do with breathing. And you have to do 8 times. Each time holding the position only for 8 seconds. Because when you breathe, you are breathing in. And you hold the position for 8 seconds. You count mentally 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you breathe out and you go down. Going up slowly also, going down slowly also. All the asanas, for example, cobra, you are going up very slowly. Then holding your breath for 8 seconds. Going down also very slowly. Not fast. Then you will not get the benefits. Then this boat posture is 8 times. Cobra is also 8 times 8 seconds. Boat posture is also 8 times 8 seconds. Then the stretching posture, the posterior stretch posture, is also 8 times 8 seconds. So these are the 4 basic postures for the brothers. Okay, so let's do first the shoulder stand. Your eyes should be open, looking in the center of your toes. 2 toes will be touching. Your body should be vertical, 90 degrees. Try to make it 90 degrees. Like this. Then when you go down, okay, you sit up. And see, the next asana is this. If you can do the lotus, you do with the lotus. If you cannot do with the lotus, if you do with the lotus, it's like this. Put your hands here, put your head inside, as much inside as possible. And catch your toes. And your eyes open, looking at here. Don't do it, wait. If you cannot do with the lotus, then you do like this. The soldier stand in Sanskrit is called Sarvangasana, which means the exercise for the entire body. Soldier stand is the best exercise. Why? Because in this position, there is a rich flow of blood in the brain. You know? So it nourishes your brain cells. So it is very good for the people who do a lot of intellectual work. You know, students studying, or the people working in the office, a lot of mental work. Because it nourishes the brain cells. Because of the rich flow of blood in the brain. And the brain and the blood passes through all the organs, all the glands, sub-glands, which exercises all the different glands of the body. And The another benefit is that it balances your blood circulation. Because most of the time they are sitting on the foot. So blood circulation is from head to foot. Here the blood circulation is from foot to head. So it balances your blood circulation. You have to lie on your stomach. Your face moves between the floor. You catch your leg. And then you inhale and lift your whole body, the front and the back part of your body like this. Your eyes should be looking open, looking in the front. Just in the front. So this is called boat posture. Now we have seen the boat. You have to make your body like a boat. That's why it's called boat posture. And it has many benefits. First, it exercises your lungs because you are breathing in and out and you're holding your breath. It exercises your lungs. It stretches your back. It is very good for back. So it makes your spine flexible, which is very, very important. Third, it exercises your liver and pancreas. So it is also very good for the people who have constipation. You are not going to toilet regularly or not moving the bile completely. It will remove constipation because it works on liver and pancreas. It stimulates your liver and pancreas. It exercises your thighs, your speaking. And you look at it front, so it exercises your eyes in a certain angle. So it is also good for the eye. Now we did today only 6 times, but next Friday, and you at home, you do it for 6 times for 1 day. Then the next week you start doing 8 times. And then you continue 8 times, holding the position for 8 seconds. Now after doing these exercises, we have to massage our body. Self-massage or self-massage. Self-massage, why self-massage? And that is the reason that asana shouldn't be done outdoor. It must be done indoor. Cannot be done in the beach or in the park, like many people do here in Dubai, even in China. People go to the park because they have no place in their home, or many people want to do color jumping, so they do it in the park. And many of the yoga centers, they teach that. They encourage people to do it. Oh, because it's a festival. No. Because when you do asanas, as I said, your brains are secreting hormones. And these hormones have the tendency to come out from the pore of the skin. They are not sweat. They are not the waste product. They are the essence of the body, these hormones. So after, that's why I said there shouldn't be clothes in the body. So after doing the asanas, you have to massage the whole body so that these hormones will go back to the body. Otherwise, it will dry out because of the sunlight or because of the air if you are doing it in the open air. So after doing the asana, it is a must that you do self-massage. Self-massage is like this. You just feel it. You massage here at least 8 times. Eyes closed. Then you massage your head. And at the back of your neck. Then you massage your ears like this, at the back of the ear. Then like this, and 12 times. Then your whole face. Then come to the arms here. The massage should always be done according to the direction of hair, not like this. Always according to the direction of hair. Front part of your body. Then the other side. Then you put your middle finger here, never, and the other finger on the side, and you press it as much inside as possible. Release it, press it. Release it, press it. Release it, press it. Okay, now the back. You do like this. Hold your teeth, you can touch your two fingers and keep it like this, your head is straight. Then the other side. Catch your fingers of the both hands, keep your head straight. Then side. Then your thighs. Lie on your back, move your right and do the Savasana.